Hello guys. Now I wanted to make this video for a very long time, but I was too lazy. I guess I had I had bigger things to do, like getting high, but whatever. Uh, Now this man on a picture was a really interesting man. There are all sorts of legends about him. His name was Jovo Stanisavljević Čaruga. Čaruga was his nickname. It means troublemaker. He was in the First World War. He was on the Eastern Front. He was fighting for Austro-Hungary. Then at the end of the war, he deserted and he came back to Croatia, to Slavonia. That's the region in Croatia where I live. He actually robbed near my hometown and etc. Now, another man named Crveni Božo or Red Božo, he was also in the Eastern Front, and he also deserted, and he made a small group of revolutionaries. They were commonly known as the Green Kadar. I don't know how to Zeleni Kadar. I don't know how to Green Kadar. I don't know how to translate that maybe. And the group of Red Bojo was called. They had a really weird name. I don't know why. They called themselves the Cycle of the Mountain Birds. The Cycle of the Mountain Birds. I don't know why, but after Red Bojo died, Charuga became leader of the group. And people say that he robbed rich and gave to the poor. I don't know is that true, but maybe. There's all kind of stories about him. There's a story how once he came to a rich pub owner or something, and he asked him for money, and he wouldn't pay. And then then Charuga and his guys tied him up to a pool table, and they were hitting him with a cue ball, in the nuts, and the man paid. And there's a one story how he sent one of his friends to go and pick up the money from other rich man, and the man didn't give him the money, and he refused. And that man came back to Jova and said, "Look, I didn't get the money." And allegedly, Jova took his pistol and shot him in the head. Now he wasn't a good man, but he was still a legend. If that stories are true, I don't know. And after the group that revolutionaries, after they disappeared, the police gendarmes, they arrested them, killed them, but not him. Jovo went into hiding. He got a lot of money from robbing, and he had houses, he had cars, and that was really big thing in those times, especially in Croatia, Yugoslavia, and Kingdom of Yugoslavia. He no one knew who he was. He was partying, drinking with gendarmes, police officers. He was with the army, with politicians. They all loved him. He had money. When you have money, people love you, and that's always like that, at least here. And allegedly, there's two stories how he was arrested. First one goes that one woman was had a letter. They sent her a letter, and she thought that letter was from her husband, who was, I assume, imprisoned in the Eastern Front or even dead. So she couldn't read, and she went to the police station and told them, and they took the letter, and that letter was actually for Jova, for Čaruga, by his girlfriend or mistress. Another story goes that his mistress got in a fight with him, and that she purposely sold him out. Now I don't know which one is true, but I like the first one better. Um and the police officers came to his castle. He had a castle, a villa. He was a rich man, and they came to in his home when he was sleeping. But by the way, I forgot to say he changed his name to Nikola Drezgic. Uh, and they woke him out. They woke him up, and they said, "Come on, you go with us. You are going with us." And he said, "What are you talking about? My name is not Jovo. What are you talking about? My name is Nikola." And they said, "We don't believe you." And he said, "No, no, no, my name is not Jovo. I don't know what you are talking about." And they took him to prison, to jail, and he refused to say his real name. And the then gendarmes, they were called gendarmes then, the police officer, they didn't know what to do with him, so they called his old uncle, and they manipulated him to come and see Jovo. And when he came and saw him in chains, he said, oh Jovo, my dear nephew, what have you done?" And the police knew that his real name, and that's a really interesting story. And anyway, I don't know. The man, he was a legend, although he was a bad man. But people like him, He did gave some money to the poor. He really did, and he even said, when I was, he said, when I stole and when I gave to the rich people, I never went in prison. But when I stole from the rich and gave to the poor, I was always in prison. And then he was, like I said, arrested, and he was hanged. And his last words were, and I love that last words. His last words were, "Zbogom narode, čaruga putuje," which means, "Goodbye, people, čaruga is going away." I mean, what a way to die. I hope you enjoyed this video. See you later. I'm sorry if I'm rambling a bit. English is my second language, and I hope someone at least would like it. Goodbye.